I'm Polish, but I live in the UK, and I live in Portsmouth, which is in the south.
I was born in the UK, in a place called Winchester, which is in Hampshire, and both my parents were English, British, but my father was born in Baghdad.
Oh.
But my mum was born in Yorkshire.
I am English. I was born in Southampton, but I've lived in all parts of England, I suppose, during my life. Most recently, my wife and I lived in Bath, and we only moved here about 2 months ago.
I was born in Africa, exactly in Benin. I live in Belgium, and I'm a French man.
Why are you French?
Because I live in France for 2 years.
So I was born in Germany. I moved in Belgium at my 6th birthday, and so I'm living in Belgium since then.
Immigration has been a feature of life, certainly in England, for many hundreds of years. You've had a whole succession of immigrants. What has changed, I think, recently has been the volume, the number of people who have come, and the fact that they have come from a wide variety of nations, whereas previously they tended to come in waves, one either ethnic group or one nationality at a time.
I think the fact that we've got the European Union and we've got the treaty, and which allows free travel between individual countries, is fantastic. I think it's exactly what we should be doing, and therefore having a lot of people coming to the UK actually is a good thing, as long as it's reciprocated with a lot of people from the UK going to other countries. And I'm, I suppose, not completely convinced that there are as many people going out from the UK as there are coming into the UK. I studied in Poland, and I didn't like the course I was doing, so I decided that I should find something better, and I was thinking that studying at English university will be much better for my future.
Firstly, when I came in Belgium, the people didn't understand what I was saying, because I was saying a mix up of French and German. And each time I say to people that I come from Germany, I was born in Germany, the people look at me like, oh really? And some are kind of interested, and some others are kind of putting a wall between us.
Okay.
If I say that I was born in Germany, the people put me in the box like she's German and not she's Belgium. And it depends of kind of people, because if it's old boss make the war and stuff, they don't like German like the rest of Europe, so can be maybe hard.
Good experiences. Yes, I did have English friends, and we got on very well, and I feel that English British society is multicultural, and it's pretty tolerant. But then at the same time, there are still people who have this attitude, who are xenophobic or racist towards us, and by us I mean Polish people, or even Bulgarian people. My husband is Bulgarian, so an example of that is that my neighbor has a sticker, and the sticker says, "I'm English, not blood European." So that's an example of that, and that makes you feel uncomfortable. You know, living in UK, that makes living in UK uncomfortable.
Victim of racism. Yes. When I go out in a club, dancing bar, sometimes they won't let me in because I'm black.
They told you that's because you're black?
No. They just say that the bar are full or something like this, and they don't accept people anymore.
Okay. Something good? No?
Something good.
Not to know. Not to know. Not to know.
In Wiltshire, where I worked, there were different groups of people from different countries. So, for example, in Trowbridge in Wiltshire, a lot of Polish people, but also quite a lot of people from Morocco in other parts of Wiltshire, and therefore when you get large groups, then it's much easier to look after those people because they help each other, but you can also get to know their particular needs and wants. So that's my sort of experience of working with people. I've also met a lot of people who've become friends, you know, from different countries, who have worked for me. I've employed people from a lot of different countries, and that's been really healthy because we've all learnt an enormous amount from each other. Different customs, different behaviours, different cultures, and I think it makes you much more broad-minded.
A lot of them bring skills. A lot of them bring a high level of energy and commitment, which is in some cases lacking among British young people, because a lot of people from the EU come to work hard, and if they can find jobs, they work hard and they're pretty successful. What's also interesting, I think, is that whereas it was, you know, people were afraid that they would come and they would stay here forever, increasingly now people are coming, spending a few years and then going back again. A lot of Poles, for example, come for a short time and go back, and I think that will happen increasingly with Eastern European countries, at least among those people who don't find it either possible to find jobs or basically find jobs, become successful, but then want to take the money back and go home and re-establish their later roots. And I think that's fine.
I think it's very positive. I mean, I've worked in hotels and sort of loads of other businesses where we've taken an awful lot of immigrants in, just simply because other people just didn't want to do the jobs. I think that's a common story sort of across the board, really. So certainly, you know, foreign students who want to do sort of travelling as students from this country, you know, go abroad. You know, it seems only fair that I think let them do the same in this country.
I do have problems with the immigrants who just come to this country and then beg, because I think that causes tension and it causes a feeling of insecurity among some of the native population. I think if, you know, the number of beggars in central London now is quite upsetting and quite intimidating for some people. But that's a personal reaction, and I'm sure that if I went and became a beggar somewhere in Eastern Europe, then locals in Eastern Europe would feel exactly the same way. So it depends on your perspective, I suppose. But I do object to that, I must say.
You know, I think sometimes you hear that people who are immigrants or illegal immigrants, you know, are causing problems. I have no evidence of that at all. I suspect we're, you know, the UK Brits just as bad as each other.
Or in UK, they label Polish people, so they put us all together in one box, but then they don't actually see the diversity. So there is a stereotype of Polish person in UK, and I know people who don't speak English or who don't integrate very well, or who overuse alcohol. But then also, there are also Polish people who are sort of recognized by English society, and there are lots of Polish people who have nice jobs, and I don't think the problem of racism is that bad in UK. I really don't think so. I think it depends on individuals and your attitude towards society where you live. So if you're open-minded and tolerant, then people will be open-minded and tolerant, right? But if you're gonna close yourself up in a community and you're not gonna make the step towards natives, then you are gonna have problems. Yes, I think that integration is very important.